The following is a fourth-hand production.
Good evening, ma'am.
Hey, y'all.
What can I do you for?
Can I have a glass of Chardonnay?
I'm sorry, darling. We don't serve that here.
Any Merlot?
I'm pretty sure you don't want these feet going nowhere near them grapes.
Alrighty, how about a craft beer?
Oh, yeah. We got plenty of crap beer. Which one you want?
No, not crap beer. Craft beer.
Oh, no, hell no. I'm pretty sure the bar down the street serves that.
Okay, well, what do you serve?
I'm glad you asked. Welcome to the Backwoods Barcast. We serve up moonshine, cheap beer, bottom shelf liquor, and stories even harder to swallow. Join Nick
And Brittany.
and the janitor Steven as we discuss southeastern mysteries and mayhem, including but not limited to UFOs, true crime, the paranormal, and much more. So knock 4 times, grab a stool, let the bar talk commence, and as always, drink more beer.
Hey guys, welcome on back to What the Suck episode. I don't fucking know.
What? No.
You suck!
Hey guys, welcome on back to What the Suck episode 17 for your ass. I'm talking to all y'all out there, especially you. Yes, you in the back with the hoodie on. You smell like cheese. You're by yourself. You're lonely. Ain't got no friends. I'm talking to you especially. What's up, guys? I'm Chris.
And I'm James. What's up, bitches?
That's right. So we are super excited because today's episode is all about the movie, the 1975 made-for-television
Made for TV up in this bitch.
anthology film horror called Trilogy of Terror. Now, James, you've seen this.
I have, but it has been ages, and
Yes.
all I remember from it, some crazy ass little African doll,
Yes.
and fine ass Karen Black.
Karen Black. So hot.
She is very hot.
Yeah. So this is neither a forgotten, nor is it really a bad movie. It's still kind of bad
Yeah.
because it's made for television, so it's not going to be all that scary. But this is kind of a classic. People, you mentioned Trilogy of Terror to like
People know what the fuck it is.
people my age and older, and they're like, I know what that is. I remember the doll. Remember that shit.
So, yeah, I would more chalk this up to forgotten and shitty, but then again, when we get to the review and I am reminded of the content, we will
Yes.
see if I maintain that particular opinion or if I have to trash this motherfucker.
if your nostalgia was too blind or
Yeah.
too was
Yeah.
out there, was too much.
Well, when you're a little boy watching Trilogy of Terror and Karen Black makes you a little pee-pee hard, you can't help it.
Damn.
So you're like, holy shit, you don't give a fuck,
Holy shit. Okay, so with that, well, I've got to say that I am a huge penis. No, I am a huge Richard Matheson fan. I am a huge Dick Matheson fan. I'm a huge dick. No, I love Richard Matheson. I love his stories. I love his books. I actually did not know about the movie before I actually read the short story that the Zuni doll one is based on.
Yeah, okay.
And I read the short story. It was great.
Yep.
It was fantastic. It was intense and it was terrifying. And I was like, oh man, I can't wait to watch this. I've seen this maybe once, like I think 10 years ago, whatever.
Yep.
But all of these short stories, the 3 short stories, are all based on horror stories, individual short stories written by Richard Matheson.
Nice.
So now, also, before I get into the synopsis and all that shit, I want to get a little bit into Richard Matheson. I'm so excited. I keep stumbling over my words because I can't wait to talk about this fucker because I love this guy so much. This guy is a super huge, influential writer. This guy has written some of the best stuff out there. Now, his movies have been made about his stories, but they've been kind of shit.
Okay.
But let me tell you,
Which happens a lot.
It does.
A lot of really great authors' works are destroyed. And
Yes.
since we do horror, a prime example that we've mentioned before, because we actually did one of his movies on here, was Stephen King.
Yep, Stephen King.
Fantastic horror writer.
Yes.
His books are fantastic. When they put his work on screen, they fuck it up.
Right.
Almost every damn time.
Almost every time, yeah. Few exceptions, Pet Sematary.
Yeah.
Even though he didn't like it, I thought the original Kubrick Shining was great.
Yeah.
King didn't like it, but I thought it was good. An axe is so much scarier than a damn croquette mallet.
Yep. But then you have such masterpieces like The Mist.
The Mist was great.
You like The Mist?
The original movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Frank Darabont, oh my god, that ending is a gut punch. It was amazing.
But
yeah.
the monsters.
The monsters were great.
You know what? I guess that's what bothers me most about Stephen King is the monsters. When they bring the monster, the whole damn movie is fantastic till they bring out the monsters.
I thought the monsters were the monsters because I read the book.
You know what? I have to digress. I have to back that up for a second.
Okay.
I do take it back. Like Silver Bullet.
Oh, great.
Favorite. That's
Great.
one of my favorites of his.
Great.
Even on the movie screen, it wasn't bad.
Right.
The werewolf was a little weird looking.
Yes.
But fantastic. Oh, shit, I loved it.
Now, let me tell you, the novelette that was based on, Cycle of the Werewolf, amazing. Super short, but has great fucking artwork in that thing.
Nice.
Oh, my God. Okay, go on.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Yeah, so that being said, yes, I thought Mist was fantastic. Again, another movie in which, now this movie was one of the different exceptions. Stephen King's ending I read The Mist, the short story is based on. Great fucking short story. His ending was different from the movie. I don't remember how his ended, but it wasn't the same as the movie. After he saw the change that Frank Darabont did to the ending, he is quoted as saying he had wished he had written that ending.
Really?
That's how good the fucking ending is.
No.
Do you remember the ending?
I do remember the ending. He kills his family, and as soon as he does
But why did he
that,
kill his family? He kills his family
because they were doomed.
Well, because they heard
The monsters were closing in.
they saw the vibrations. They knew at that point
He
when there's
didn't want his
vibrations.
family to get killed in that way.
There's
so
monsters.
He took them out so they wouldn't suffer deaths
Right.
at the hand of the monsters. And then the fog clears. All of a sudden, the mist dissipates, and here comes the army.
Right.
And they've done run all the bugs off or killed them.
Exactly.
And,
but
then he's devastated. I mean,
he's devastated because he thought they were all going to die a horrible death. He even tried to kill himself, but he ran out of bullets.
Yep.
But then the army comes in, and he's absolutely horrified because he killed his little boy. All because he wanted to spare them from a more horrible fate.
That's true. Yeah.
Amazing ending.
Well, like I said, I did watch it, but I guess it's just, to me, sometimes the monster's a little hokey.
And that's kind
just
of
me.
That's kind
That's
of the
just
point
me,
too. His
I guess.
especially in the Mist, because there's such giant, crazy monsters.
I mean, giant bats in a damn sawmill, shit like that. I don't even remember what the name of that movie was.
That was Night Shift. That was
Night
also
Shift,
a crazy fucking movie.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Stephen King fan, both film and book. Just like Matheson. Let's get back to Matheson. So
yeah, let's get back on track. Sorry, bro.
One of his most famous books, one of my absolute favorites, is I Am Legend.
Great movie.
Which one? There's been 3.
Well, the only one I ever saw was Smith.
Okay, now I will go on a diatribe on that because I thought that movie was the closest to the novel, except for the ending. Now, the ending was pure Hollywood bullshit.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, there is an alternate ending to that movie, which is much closer to the book.
Release the Snyder cut.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Now, the original version of that was a 1954 science fiction film called The Last Man on Earth, featuring Vincent Price in the role of the scientist.
Okay.
After that was a Charlton Heston 70s movie, The Omega Man.
Yes.
That was based on it.
Yes.
And then the Will Smith one. The actual book itself is fucking fascinating because the main character in the book is not really a scientist. He's just a normal person. He has some intelligence though. Mm-hmm. When he's the only person on Earth, he spends his days finding vampires, killing them, but also testing theories on them. One of the things that I thought was interesting in the book was that he tests different vampires of different religions. For instance, he finds out that vampires that are Jewish are not affected by the cross because they're Jewish.
Ah.
Yes. He tests their blood.
So you hit him with the 6-pointed star, I guess, right?
And then the dog storyline in the book is so much more heartbreaking than the movie.
Really?
Oh my God. It just crushed my heart.
I mean, well, even the movie was heartbreaking.
Right.
Because you don't ever like to see the dog die.
No.
Like I said, that's our number one sin here on this show.
Exactly.
Don't kill the dog.
But
or animals, period. People, who cares, but animals, no.
In the book, the dog is a stray that takes him months of trying to coax with food before the dog will not come near him because he's so afraid, because he's been on his own for so long, surrounded by monsters.
Doesn't trust anything. Looks human. Yeah.
Takes him months to coax him to food. He finally gets him to let him come near him. He feeds him. He takes him in. That night, the dog dies.
Gets bit by something.
No,
right?
no. I'm talking about in the movie, in the book, not in the movie. In the book, because in the movie he's already a pet.
Yeah.
In the
That's
book,
true. That's right.
In the book, he's just a stray. He finally sees one other living thing that's not a vampire in the book. Okay. It takes him months to find his companionship, to get him to trust him enough. He finally trusts him. He brings the dog in. The dog just dies.
Oh, fuck that.
Heartbreaking. Nope.
Fuck
He
that.
doesn't get bit, doesn't turn into a vampire. He just dies after months. Then, in the book, he comes across another human being during the daytime that he chases down and tries to get to communicate with. He finally communicates with them. Turns out she's a vampire. She's a spy. They arrest him. They take him into a jail. He finds out that the entire time that he's been trying to survive, and now there are vampires that come to his house every night that are lower intelligence, that are just trying to get blood.
Yep.
While all these years he's been doing this, the vampires have created their own society. They have working society with rules and government and all that. He is the nighttime boogeyman for the vampires' children.
No shit.
Because during the day, he will go out and he will kill as many vampires as he can.
Oh.
So when he's arrested, he is going to be executed. The woman that he thought was a person that trapped him comes into his cell at the end, says, "Look, they're going to execute you in front of the public. You become our monster. You are a boogeyman. Our people are scared as shit of you because you kill us. Here are some pills. They're cyanide. You can take the easy way out if you want." Before he takes the pills, in the last few pages, he looks out of his jail cell. He sees a crowd of vampires outside the fence. He sees the fear in those kids' eyes, and he realizes he has become the boogeyman. He is legend to them.
Damn.
It is absolutely powerful, so much more than a Hollywood explosion.
I thought you said he was going to knock boots, not take poison.
No,
but you know what?
no.
That's all right.
Yeah. Anyway, because that's super long.
That's okay.
It's a fast,
cool.
super long diatribe on that. I love that story. Now, he's also done multiple stories which have been turned into Twilight Zone episodes, including the infamous Nightmare at 20,000 Feet with William Shatner.
Yes.
He wrote that one.
There's something on the wing. Thing. That's right.
Which was later added to the 80s Twilight Zone movie with John Lithgow, which scared the shit out of me as a kid. That scared the holy fuck out of me as a kid.
And then they made a common reference to both of their roles and both of their parts, playing that guy on the plane in an episode of Third Rock.
Perfect.
When Shatner came back as the big giant head, and they go to meet him at the airport, and he comes off the plane. He's drunk, of course.
Yeah.
And he goes, "I'm doing great, man. It was a good flight, but I swear there was something out there on the wing."
That's fantastic.
And Lithgow's character goes, "What? That happened to me too."
Beautiful.
I mean, and I don't even know who would get that reference.
Yeah.
Very few people would, but I got it instantly, and I died laughing.
That was brilliant.
Freaking awesome.
Fucking brilliant. He also wrote the story that would become the short Steel, which was also made into a movie not too long ago with Hugh Jackman about the fighting robots.
Yes.
He's also...
That was him?
That was him. He wrote that.
You got to be kidding me. Real Steel was his baby.
Was based on his original short story. Yep.
No shit. And I love that fucking movie.
Now,
Why are we doing this movie, man? We may have to be nice to this one.
Well, we'll get to it. So he's done several adaptations of Edgar Allan Poe movies. His 1971 short story Duel would be directed by a then unknown young Steven Spielberg as his first television film later that year.
No shit.
7 of his novels and short stories have been adapted as motion pictures. The Shrinking Man, which was filmed as The Incredible Shrinking Man. Hill House, filmed as Legend of Hill House. I've read Hill House, great book. What Dreams May Come, Bid Time Return, filmed as Somewhere in Time with Christopher Reeve.
No shit.
Mm-hmm.
That was his?
That was his. Also later...
You just hit a good one for me because I fucking love that movie Somewhere in Time. Not horror.
Nope.
I know this is off the subject, but if anybody hasn't seen that movie, I really recommend it. I mean, because I was a huge Christopher Reeve fan anyway as a kid, because Superman was the shit to me. Still is. I love Superman. Love his movies. He'll always be the Superman
The
to
Superman
me,
for you.
no matter what, whoever came before or after. But yeah, that movie
Somewhere
was
in Time.
brilliant. I loved it.
It was also remade later with Robin Williams as What Dreams May Come. Now, he also wrote the story A Stir of Echoes, which became a movie with Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon.
Bacon, which I actually thought was a good movie.
You can only watch that movie once, though.
Yeah, you can, because then
you watch it more than once. It wrecks everything, but it is highly entertaining.
Yes,
in the first run.
Run through, absolutely. Steel, as we mentioned, was filmed as Real Steel.
Yep.
And Button, which was filmed as The Box, which I believe came out not too long ago.
Was that the one with, what's her face, the blindfold obsession stuff?
Cameron Diaz and James Marsden? Yeah.
Nope, that ain't
no,
it.
Never mind, that's not it. Hang on.
The one I was thinking about was with Sandra Bullock.
No, that's Bird Box.
Oh, fuck.
That's a network.
Bird
Netflix.
Box, The Box, what's the fucking difference?
Whole different fucking thing. Whole different fucking thing. Okay, so, he is, he also wrote the teleplay for The Night Stalker, one of two movies written by Matheson, directed by Dan Curtis, which would later become the TV series Kolchak the Night Stalker, which is a great TV series.
Which is the Night Stalker is actually referred to in our California episode on State of Fear.
Whole different Night Stalker, but same
different guy.
Same name, yeah. Nothing to do with that whatsoever.
Oh, shit. Never mind.
Yeah. Because the Night Stalker we're referring to is Richard Ramirez, the killer, not Kolchak the Night Stalker, who is a report. Have you seen Kolchak?
No.
You haven't seen Kolchak?
No.
Holy shit, dude.
Motherfucker.
Okay, it's the predecessor to shows like the X-Files, shit like that. He is Darren. Damn, what's that dude's name from?
I got a job, motherfucker. I ain't got time to watch all this TV.
Darren McGavin, the dad from
Christmas Story. I know who he is. Yeah.
He is a reporter who gets pulled into doing stories about supernatural entities. He ends up chasing a werewolf, a vampire, all kinds of shit. It is amazing.
What
yes.
in the fuck?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you've got to check it out. Okay. I'm getting super excited because I fucking love Matheson. Anyway. Yeah, so, but you can find his shit anywhere. Like, his short stories have been all over the place. I think they've done some for, like, the Creep Show and the Tales of Terror type of thing as well. They're all over the place. He's influential to people like Stephen King and so on and all that. But, okay, the movie. Trilogy of Terror is 3 tales. Now, the tales are as follows. Julie, Millicent, and Therese, and Amelia. So, what are they about? Well, I am going to tell you. Hang on. Let me see if I can find... So, director Dan Curtis presents his 1975 collection of horror based on one woman playing 4 roles in 3 bizarre stories. Karen Black's performances in Trilogy are considered legendary today. First one, Julie. Julie Eldridge, Karen Black, is an English teacher who is being blackmailed by one of her students, Chad, Robert Burton, with whom she had an affair. After ending the relationship, Chad finds himself igniting a situation that he may not be able to end. Ever. Millicent and Therese. Millicent, Black, and Therese, Black, are sisters. After Millicent reveals Therese's, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I don't care, provocative past to her new boyfriend and drives him away, she begins to fear for her life. To protect herself, Millicent takes matters into her own hands, and the 2 sisters end up tangled in a spell of witchcraft with deadly consequences. Amelia, Black, a 32-year-old woman who is dominated by her mother, just purchased her new boyfriend a Zuni Hunter doll described in a scroll as "He Who Kills." According to legend, if the chain around his waist is ever removed, an evil spirit will be unrestrained. When Amelia gets the doll home, she accidentally loosens the chain after a fight with her mother on the phone and unleashes a raging beast with only one intention: to kill.
It is very bad to steal Jobu's rum. He's very bad.
Fuck you, Jobu. I do it myself.
That's right.
Okay, if you know that reference, post it and let us know. Send us a comment.
Yep.
All right, so that's what it's about. The Rotten Tomato rating, even though it came out in the 70s, on Rotten Tomatoes, it has 11 professional reviews for a 91% rating.
Damn, dude, that's too high.
But 5,179 audience reviews for only 57% rating.
Well, shit, there's no accounting for that.
So this most likely is a case of the professional reviewers having too much nostalgia.
Probably so.
Yeah. So, rating system, refer back to our older episodes. Basically, it's a inverse scale. 1 to 5, shit emojis. 1 being the best, the ones that you're going to keep in your queue, hang on to, watch over and over, Bring friends over, show it to your friends. 5 being the worst of the worst, the shit that you're gonna watch once and then wish you never watch it, and maybe use some pot or some LSD. Get a Negan bat and hang and bash yourself in the head with it.
Go jump in a live volcano head first, of course.
Everything else in between is just a vary degree, like a what'd you call it?
Well, let's put it this way.
A sliding scale of shit?
A sliding scale of shit steadily. And as it gets worse and worse, more and more alcohol is required to ease the pain.
Perfect. Yes.
What else? How else can you explain it?
All right. Well, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the review.
Let's do it. Bring it on, Karen.
Karen,
you fine ass bitch.
Karen, where's the money, Karen? Where's the money, Karen?
Make you nervous, Doctor?
Karen Black, a major star, creates a television first.
There's a golden chain wrapped around it to keep the spirit from making the doll come to life.
Face to face with the unbearable unknown. Trilogy of Terror.
All right, so Trilogy of Terror should be called Trilogy of Boredom.
Well, I don't know. I was too busy staring at Karen Black the whole time.
You asshole. Supposed to be watching the movie so that we can review it. Instead,
watching the movie.
He was back to your 14-year-old self, watching the girl.
12.
Pants getting all tight. All right, well, okay, so it's 3 parts. First part is called
Julie.
Karen Black is a college professor.
Yes.
Who teaches something, I don't know what. I don't care.
I think it is literature because she is speaking of authors and things.
Again, I don't care.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. But we're introduced to our protagonist, which is dude who I will call...
Chadwick.
His name is Chadwick. I will call Creepy Rapist.
There you go, Creepy Rapist.
He is interested in her and wants to date her. But she's not interested in him at all because she has class and taste. And
so she pretends to be, exactly. So
let's not give it away just yet. But yeah, she pretends to be not interested in him. And so he pursues her. He talks to her a couple times outside of class. Finally convinces her to go to a drive-in movie. Gets to the drive-in movie. Is looking at her the whole time, creepy as fuck.
And it is a horror movie on screen, but you can't tell what. I think it's like Dracula or something.
I don't know. It's some black and white piece of shit. Yeah, something we watch. So she's watching it, he's watching her, and then he asks if she would like something. She says, "Well, I will take a drink." So he goes out to get her a drink. Proceeds to put something in her drink.
Of course,
as all classy men do.
Yeah, I didn't know roofies existed in the 70s, but I guess they did.
They've been around forever. He like all men of the gentle persuasion do. He drugs her drink. She passes out. So we think. He drives her to a motel, which is
classy move in itself.
$15 a night. What a deal.
$15 tubuku.
That's right. And proceeds to lay her on the bed, undo her hairdo, and undo her clothes and start taking pictures.
Now this is made for TV, so no good stuff. No rescue titties. No nothing. Just a scene of him. He has her on the bed. He takes a bunch of pictures, and then you see him approach her, undoing his shirt, and then it fades to
out, black. Which means that it's supposed to mean that he raped her.
I guess.
Yeah, because he's a classy guy. Again, we iterate. So. Douchey McDoucheface is a classy guy. So. Next, then that cuts the next scene. He's driving her home. He gets to her house, pulls up, and right as he pulls up, she wakes up.
Of course, he slams on the brakes, sending her head flying forward and back. Because snaps her awake.
Right,
and he convinces her at that point that she just fell asleep, and he let her sleep because she's been working so hard. So he just wanted to let her sleep. Yep. And she apologized for being such a boring date. And I'm sitting there going, yeah, you weren't. No. So you weren't born a half hour ago, but that's all right.
He then goes home and develops all his creepy ass pictures.
Of course,
because he is awesome. And then the next day he calls her up and says that he wants her to meet him somewhere, that he wants to show her something. She meets him and he proceeds to show her the pictures that he took.
Yeah.
So he is now going to blackmail her.
He has her over a barrel. Yep.
And so then the next scene is they are at the school. She's teaching a class. He passes her a note. The note says, and I quote, "Come after school. I want to run a train on your ass."
Pretty much. I have some friends I want you to meet, a.k.a. line it up.
We're going to take turns.
We're going to run the train.
Sloppy thirds, some dirty,
nasty.
some 30 seconds, some nasty shit. She freaks out, cancels class, goes back to her home, talks to her roommate who says that there's a student bothering her, or something's bothering her, but she has to go out. So she goes out, ends up at his house. Now, at this point, everything has been, the male has been the protagonist. He's been the one, quote unquote, calling the shots.
Yeah, Mr. Cool here, Mr. Ego, Mr. Aquavella Geek.
Yeah. And they're at his apartment. He's classy. He's got a drink. He's got his shirt unbuttoned, showing his chesticle hair. and she's just walking around with her hair all down in a robe. And all of a sudden, just from out of fucking nowhere, she says, "That's it. I'm bored.
I'm bored. I'm done with you." And you're like, "What?
What the fuck?"
And then he starts to gag slowly but surely, because she hands him a drink and all this.
He's drinking it.
This appearance of servitude and
right.
Like, you're gonna do what I say. You're gonna wait on me hand and foot. Well, anyway, she gets after him and he starts to gag.
She's telling.
He's doing this stupid slow death.
She's telling him that all this time, all the shit that he went through was not his idea.
Said, "Look at here, micro penis. You didn't think all this shit up.
Little dick.
You thought you were running the game.
I've
been running the game the whole fucking time." So this motherfucker dies. She drags his ass into his photography room and torches the fucking place.
Yep. But she tells him that she's done it before.
Oh yeah.
She says that
bored.
She does until she gets bored, and then she gets rid of the dude. So then
you're like, what the fuck? So she burns the house down.
Yep.
And then you go back to her apartment, and her roommate comes up to her talking, and she's pretending to be sad. She's reading this fucking newspaper. It says student dies in fire and blah, 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 and all this shit. Roommate leaves. She cracks she gets that shit-eating grin on her face.
She opens up a book of memories.
Opens up the book of memories, cuts the article out, and proceeds to tape the article in the book.
Along with other articles in there.
All these other students who have mysteriously died. So apparently
she's a serial killer.
Is a serial killing bitch.
That's right. Then there's a knock on the door. And she answers it, and it's some new young punk who said he saw her post on the board. He needs help being tutored, and she can help. She can start right now. And she looks him up and down like, we're going to be good friends.
And see, the thing is, but what it is, they don't explain whether she just kills him or if she only kills the egotistical fucks. Because this kid ain't nothing like the other one, but who cares?
Well, she did say, before she killed Douchey McDoucheface, she said that there was a kid in Denver that she liked a lot because he liked to explore and he was different. But still got bored and still killed him, so she kills him.
Still knifed his ass. Okay.
Yeah. End of movie.
End of segment.
End of segment, thank you.
Yes, end of segment. Then we proceed to
number 2.
Millicent
and Therese.
And Therese.
Yes.
This is a much weirder, I guess, a little more boring segment.
Yeah, even more boring.
A little bit of a letdown here.
They were trying to go for a whole thing, but so the movie starts off, or the segment starts off with this girl looking at a home movie, and she's watching and she's reminiscing and yada yada bullshit, and then she cuts to a scene where she's talking to somebody who's a family friend apparently, and she's talking to him about her sister. This is Millicent, by the way. She looks like a librarian,
dressed down, no lipstick, ugly glasses,
very
hair in a bun,
shitty Harry Potter round glasses.
Yeah.
And this is Millicent, and so the family friend comes in and she's talking to him about her sister Therese, who is a slut.
And apparently this guy likes Therese, though.
Yes.
And
apparently.
She's running him down. She's running that bitch down left and right, talking all this shit.
saying apparently there's like books on like voodoo culture and Satanism in her
She's
her
possessed
library.
by the devil. Her soul is damned, and I can't help her anymore, but I can help you. You need to step the fuck off, basically.
And dirty and shit. And then he tells her that, I forget what he tells her, but it doesn't matter. But she goes to write in her diary all about how Teresa's a hoe.
Scribbles. Because I was actually trying to read what she was writing, and she's literally scribbling bullshit.
Nothing legible.
Now, I'm sorry, but that was just something I noticed. It was funny. I was like, oh, Jesus.
So then she proceeds to call her therapist, her psychologist, who is
Commandant Lassard
from
Police Academy.
From the Police Academy movies.
Yep. I don't even know what his freaking name is.
I don't know either. We just call him Commandant Lassard. So she calls him to tell him that Teresa's out of control.
Ugh.
He shows up at the house. And we are then treated to Karen Black playing quote-unquote Therese in a long blonde wig, red skirt, white top, acting like a slut.
And it was at this point where I guessed it yet again.
Yep.
That's sometimes what I hate about when I watch movies. I can guess what the fuck's going on. So, but I will not say anything yet.
Yeah. And so the therapist is trying to talk to her, and she's not listening. She wants to do what she wants to be wild and free, enjoy her life, and that her sister is a downer.
Now, for the record, I do like slutty, high-heeled, miniskirt Karen Black.
All right, noted. That is noted. That is on the podcast. That is staying. That is out there forever.
I like it. And Karen, if you're listening just by freak chance,
is she still alive?
Give me a call.
She's still alive?
I hope.
Okay. And so then
she's still alive.
So then she proceeds to go upstairs because she's going to give Millicent what's on her mind. And she knocks on the door. And we cut to the room, and Millicent's in there writing on her in her diary. Then it cuts back to Therese knocking on the door. She opens it, and Millicent's not there, and so she lays down on her bed and passes out. Next day, Millicent is outside, and she's a little girl who's a neighbor, and she walks up to her. She's crying. She says, "What's wrong?" She says, "Therese broke my doll," and shows her the doll, and the doll's not broke. The doll's got a big old chunk missing out its fucking head. Are we boring you, James?
You're not boring me at all, brother.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to make sure she dead.
Oh.
Damn.
That's staying in. That is staying in.
Damn, she dead.
Staying in.
She died August 8th, 2013. I am depressed.
She's
son of a bitch, but she was born in 39, so she's been like 90 years old damn near by now. So
she's fucking 7 years dead, dude. She's dead. Okay.
Fuck.
Moving on. So
damn it.
The little girl proceeds to show the doll.
My 12-year-old hard pee-pee just shriveled. Fucking over. Damn it.
Do you need a moment?
I need a moment.
All right, a moment of silence for James Peepee.
Let us continue.
Okay. So
damn it.
So then, so little neighbor girl is crying because Therese broke her doll. The doll has a big old chunk missing out of its head. It's like a porcelain head doll. It's got a big old piece missing out of its head.
Yep.
Like she just took it and bashed that bitch out. Then Therese says she'll buy a new doll, whatever, end of scene, who gives a shit. So then, that's when Millicent decides she's had enough. She's going to use Therese's practices against her.
Yep.
Pulls out the voodoo doll book.
Yep.
And grabs some
nail clippings out of the ashtray.
What
the fuck are they doing in the ashtray? I don't know, but they're in there.
Fingernail trimmings is where you put them, I guess. Back in the 70s where you put them.
I guess.
Then hair from a hairbrush.
Yep.
And a couple of buttons from her favorite slutty dress.
Yep.
And creates a voodoo doll.
Puts a little whammy bammy on her.
A little whammy bammy. And then pulls out a pin that she had apparently. And then the scene cuts away. And Commandant Lassard comes to the house. And goes upstairs. And what does he find but Therese dead next to the voodoo doll?
Even still looking fine. Dead,
fine.
But still look fine.
Her rack is just standing straight up.
Damn it, why is she dead?
She dead because she old as fuck, dude. So then he proceeds to call the ambulance, and the ambulance shows up and talking to him, and he's like, "Do you know who she is?" And he's like, "Yes, I know who she is. She's a family friend. I've treated her for years." And proceeds to, he said, her name is Therese Millicent, whatever her last name was.
Which brings me back to the point that I was going to divulge earlier, which was, I guessed it, about 3 minutes into this thing, once they introduced both the characters, that she was a split personality.
Yep. So she was her own worst enemy, her own sister.
That is correct. So she took her own ass out.
Which means that she died. She died of a nocebo because her mind believed so much that her sister was real and that voodoo was real that when she created the doll and stabbed her, her mind killed herself.
It's like I'm saying, when people fall in dreams, if you actually hit the ground, you die in your sleep.
Right.
Like most people wake up if they're falling, they don't actually ever hit.
Yeah.
But they said if you die in your dreams, sometimes you die in real life, or your system takes the shock. And
the power of suggestion is real.
Yeah.
Is powerful.
Or you have a heart attack because you scare yourself so bad or some shit.
Because
that.
like a placebo is, it's like a sugar pill.
Yeah.
You don't know a sugar pill. You think it's real. Your mind tells you it's actually. So a lot of times it actually works for you.
That's it.
But you're taking something. A nocebo is where you're not actually taking something, but the power of suggestion is in there in your mind. So, end of story. She's dead. She's the same person.
And it was quite a boring segment.
It was a boring.
Looking at her running around in her heels and her skirt for the brief moment was nice. But other than that, seeing Commandant Lassard was funny.
Yeah, that was pretty funny, actually.
I had to give that because we were making Mahoney jokes the whole fucking time. So it was,
But he was serious the whole time, which was not fun.
No.
So then the final one is... Fuck.
The final segment is Amelia. I don't know why they just called it by the first name. They could have called it something else, but that's okay. So we see Amelia approaching her apartment, coming in, looking. Actually, best looking of all the segments.
This entire movie, James's pee-pee's been hard the whole movie.
Well, shit.
So then she gets home. She has this big ass box. She opens it up. It's this little Zuni tribesman doll that she bought. And the phone rings. She answers. It's her bitch of a mom, and she's talking to her, and her mom's bitching her out, whatever. And through the quote unquote conversation on the phone, we get the exposition backstory.
Of course.
Now, we remarked because there were a few times when she was talking that she kind of stumbled on some words. And we remarked that we think she did this whole scene like ad-lib.
Yeah, because she didn't seem to have any organized dialogue.
No.
It's like the guy said, here, just grab the phone and pretend you're having a conversation.
Yeah.
Think of whatever. It's no big deal.
Because she was very disorganized on her talk.
And take about 4 minutes to do it and bore the audience.
Right. So she tells her mom, and bore the audience. That's the whole fucking movie.
Shit, yeah.
She tells her mom that she's supposed to have a date with some dude, and it's his birthday, and he's an anthropologist, so she bought him this Zuni tribesman doll called He Who Kills. And then her mom bitches her out about moving out and having a boyfriend and yada yada yada. And so she says, well, look, I'm gonna take a shower and I'm gonna go. So she hangs up. She's looking at the doll. She's checking it out, checking out the little sphere, checking out all the stuff and the little chain on it, and then looks at the thing and it says, He Who Kills, blah blah blah, bound by the chain or some shit. She puts it down, chain breaks off, falls to the ground.
She doesn't notice. Walks the fuck off.
She goes start the bathtub, get ready to take a bath. She comes back, the doll's off the table, it's gone, but the chain's there.
Yep, chain's there, and she starts looking around for it, poking around underneath there, and says, well, ouch, well, I found it. At least the tip of your spear anyway.
Yeah, she got poked by the tip of a spear, which is not a metaphor, euphemism. So then she's looking around, she's trying to figure out where it's at. And
I can't blame the little guy. If I would have been in this movie, I would have tried to poke her with the tip of my spear, too.
Again, thinking which pee-pee. And so while she's trying to find it, she goes in the kitchen and she decides that she's going to go ahead and put her TV dinner in the oven or whatever the fuck she does.
She makes a fucking steak.
Yeah. She gets a knife out, cuts steak open, throws it in the oven.
Very angrily, too.
Yeah.
Looking at her face, she looks like she's trying to kill the damn steak. I mean, she's all pissed off because I think she's mad at her mom.
Yeah.
And, I think she was supposed to spend the night with a guy, and I think he canceled or some shit.
Probably. So
she angrily cooks this steak, throws it in the oven.
And then she goes back to the couch to look for the Zuni doll.
Yeah.
That's when she gets poked the first time. And then while she's looking, when she stands up and she's sitting on the back of the couch, all of a sudden she starts screaming, and it cuts down to
her ankle.
The doll is is stabbing her in the ankle
with a steak knife that it ripped off. Because it snatched the steak knife right out from underneath her nose.
And it's stabbing her in the ankles.
It's like slashing and all this shit.
And she's freaked out. She's screaming. So then she runs to the kitchen. Oh, no, that's not right. Yeah, that's right. Hang on. Yeah. Oh, no, that's not right. Okay, so she goes back to the couch. She can't find it. She gets stabbed the first time. And then she goes back to the kitchen, and the knife is missing.
The knife is missing.
So she goes back out into the dining room and living room to look for it. And as she's there, then she gets stabbed in the legs by the doll. The doll appears, starts stabbing her legs with the steak knife that he stole. Then she starts to fight it. She runs down the hall into her room. Tries to get on the phone to call. The whole time, this doll is like shoving the knife under the door, and screaming.
It's hilarious. Now we also notice when she goes to dial the police, she dials like 8 digits, but it's all the same number.
Digit.
It's a rotary dial phone, and her finger never changes position. It's like
no, it's 1111111. And so as she's doing that, the Zuni doll has somehow jumped up onto the doorknob, opened the door.
Yeah.
Door swings open. This doll is hanging on the fucking door.
It's awesome.
Chilling. Yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
He jumps down, runs to her, begins to attack her again. She throws him off, jumps over the bed, runs out, runs into the bathroom, closes the door. Once again, the knife goes underneath the door.
Gotta love it.
Yep. And then she proceeds to clean herself off in the tub, and then she hatches a plan because he's trying to open the door even though she locked it.
Now, the thing is, she's sitting in there cleaning herself up, and this little motherfucker picks the damn lock with the knife.
He picks the lock with a knife, starts to open it. So because he's apparently a lock picker now. So she grabs a towel, and when he runs in, grabs him in the towel, and instead of wrapping the towel around and then smacking on the ground to break him
or something.
Yeah, she puts it in the tub.
She tries to drown the motherfucker. And then she doesn't even finish the job.
No, she runs out.
She leaves his ass in the tub, and what's funny is after she runs out, she leaves the door open, and you see that little motherfucker stand up out of the tub,
which is so fucking
hilarious. You see him stand up like, hey, bitch.
Yeah, he's so funny. He like pokes his head and his hand out over the tub.
He said, oh, that's your ass now. So he jumps out of the fucking tub and starts chasing her yet again.
She runs into the bedroom, into her closet. She grabs a empty suitcase.
Yeah.
She has the door closed, and then she makes this plan. As soon as she opens the door, she opens it wide open. The doll runs right at her. She traps it in the suitcase, closes it up. Then
this little sumbitch is in there. He's raising all kinds of hell, throwing a fit, and then you see the fucking steak knife come through the top of the suitcase.
Right through the top of the thing.
And he starts sawing. It looked like a Wile E. Coyote doing thing. Sawing his way out of this fucking thing.
And she runs to her door, but like there's some problem with her lock, and she can't unlock the top lock, so she's stuck.
What's stupid? She's locked herself in somehow, which is moronic.
Right.
For one thing.
Then the other stupid part is when she can't get out and she sees a steak knife coming up through the suitcase, she goes over there and she tries to use her hands to grab the
and
blade.
Gets cut yet again because she's trying to grab a moving blade.
Yeah.
That was dumb.
Stupid as shit. So then she
it actually gets a hole cut in the top finally.
Yes. He
comes out, sticks his fucking head out and starts he's hollering and screaming.
But he's dropped the knife at that point.
He did drop the knife.
So she picks it up. She starts stabbing the fucker in the head.
Starts fucking his ass.
By the way,
he's screaming.
I just want to say at this point, after seeing the doll, in my head I had all these ideas for like crossovers that I wanted to see. I want to see the Zuni doll versus Jobu from Major League. I wanted to see the Zuni doll versus the cat from Cat's Eye.
Oh, man.
And then I want to see the Zuni doll versus all the characters from Puppet Masters.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I want to see him versus all them fuckers and see who wins.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, anyway, okay, that's neither here nor there. But so then she runs to the kitchen, and then he's chasing after her.
But before that happens, that stupid bitch had stabbed him into submission. He was inside the suitcase. And she fucking opens the suitcase to check on it.
And what happens?
Stupid. Instead of throwing it off course, the son of a bitch jumps out and latches onto her fucking neck.
Starts chewing on her.
She's screaming, and all this shit. So she hauls his ass to the kitchen, running and screaming. This thing's just chewing on her neck the whole time. She pries that little fucker off and throws him in the oven with her steak.
So she can't eat her steak now.
And closes the door, and this little fucker bursts into flames.
Burns up.
Burns the fuck up.
But then she does another stupid thing, which is...
opens the oven door.
And what happens at that point?
All of a sudden, she screams, she stares up, you're like, what the fuck? And then
it cuts.
Fades.
Yep.
You're like, what the hell happened? So next thing we get, she's in there, walking slowly. Of course, she looks a little bit different now.
But we don't see her yet. We see the telephone off the hook.
Yeah.
We see her go to the phone. We just see her feet. She picks it up. She calls her mom.
It says,
sounds a little weird.
Over, Mom.
She says, I'm sorry. Come over. Let's talk about this. Yada yada yada. I'll see you soon.
And then she turns around and gives this. I'm sorry.
What happens is she goes to the door. She goes to the door.
Oh yeah.
She pulls the lock off with no problem. Just yanks it off.
Like all of a sudden, superhuman strength. Something's up.
Turns around, goes back out to the entryway. Squats down in a squatting position.
And you can tell she's got something in her mouth.
She's got a huge, what is it, like a machete?
Like a machete. A giant machete or steak knife, but I don't know where the hell it came from.
It looked like a machete. Why does she have a machete in a fucking apartment?
I don't know, and that's what I wasn't thinking about, because she assumes this sexy-ass squatting, killing position.
It looks like she's taking a shit. That's not sexy.
Nah, it didn't look like that to me. But anyway, she's grabbing a knife.
So she's stabbing it. She's sitting there stabbing the ground, just kind of, and then she starts to smile, and you see...
And she cuts that shit-eating grin, and
you see the
Zuni teeth.
She has Zuni teeth,
and
which implicates that the evil spirit in the doll
has transferred into her, basically.
Into her, and she's waiting for her mom to get there so she can fuck her mom up.
And fade to black. No pun intended.
All pun intended.
But you know what? We'll go ahead with it.
So that's the end of the movie. That's the end of the Trilogy of Terror. And I gotta say, from a fan of Matheson's standpoint, I don't know if I've read the stories that the first two were based on. I know I read the story the third one was based on. The story is, of course, as always, the book is way better.
Yeah.
The story of the Zuni doll is terrifying in the book. This was boring as fuck. But the good thing is that he has multiple other things out there that are just as good as the stories. The Twilight Zone episodes.
Yep.
The Twilight Zone movie, which has some of his stories. Stir of Echoes, What Dreams May Come, I Am Legend, the Smith one with the alternate ending, and multiple other Twilight Zone episodes that he has stories on. So I'm gonna give it a pass on that one just for that reason. But
there you go.
What's your review, James? My
review is
bucket.
Yeah. For all intents and purposes, like I said, as a horror movie goes, it was lame. Real super lame. The name is very cool, but it's lame. It's made for TV.
Yeah.
It looks like 70s TV.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't have any real effects. The blood effects in the last part were about all there was. There was no blood in either of the first two sequences. A little poisoning, a little, stuff.
It wasn't
like
even
that.
supernatural.
Yeah, it was just
There
was no horror,
right.
So to say.
Right.
There was a little bit of horror in the third part because there was some actual cutting going on, some bleeding,
and
a thing biting her neck and all this shit.
Yeah.
So overall, her acting was good. The scripts were good.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, the effects were poor, except for the Zuni doll. I'm sorry, the Zuni doll running around in the 70s, making that thing actually come to life like they did, not bad. I'm sure the hand puppet, whatever the fuck, but it was funny. It was well done. I got a lot of good laughs out of this movie. It said a lot of funny shit. I'm going to go ahead and give this one a 2 turd on my scale.
Okay.
Because I'm going with the Karen Black factor.
All right.
She made me enjoy this movie a lot.
You're going number 2.
I'm going to go 2.
You're going to go 2. All right.
I'm going to go 2 with it.
You're going to go 2 because it made your little 12-year-old pee-pee hard. All right. I think this is the most we've ever talked about 12-year-old's pee-pee ever on the show.
Lord have mercy.
So, okay, 2. So I am going to go actually with, I'm going to go with a 3.
Okay.
This movie gets a lot of love because it's a quote-unquote classic.
Yeah.
Mostly because of the fact that you have one actress playing 4 different roles.
Yes.
Which is unprecedented and unheard of, but it's great. It's really cool.
Yeah,
she does a great
Eddie
job.
Murphy.
Right, but that was all in one movie.
That's true.
Yeah, granted, one movie. This is one movie too, but that was all in one cohesive movie. This is in 3 different segments.
That is true.
So she's playing different characters all the way through.
Yep.
And whole different stories. So I mean, it was great. She was great. She did a good job in it. The like you said, the first two were boring as fuck.
Yeah.
There wasn't a whole lot of story to them. The third one had more story, had like actual structure, beginning, middle, end than the other two did. And then the Zuni doll was funny as shit. Oh my gosh, it's the funniest fucking thing ever. Yeah, I'm gonna go 3 just because I don't think there's a lot of rewatch factor in this, unless you grew up on it and it has a nostalgia factor.
This is very true.
Because it was made for TV, I can see people having a deep nostalgia for it because they grew up watching it on TV when it came out.
Yep.
This is days before, reruns, and they had reruns, but cable.
I mean, my dad used to talk about this movie.
Yeah. Before internet and on-demand stuff, things like that.
Yeah.
So when something came on TV, you knew about it in advance. You got a TV guide. You set it and on the TV guide, and you made sure you were there to watch it.
Yep.
And so that can definitely have some nostalgia factor for you. So that's the only reason why it gets 3, not a 4 or 5.
Gotcha.
It's not scary. The Trilogy of Terror is really only like, I don't know, 10 minutes of terror, really, in the whole movie.
If it's even terror.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, it was almost comical when she was doing battle with the Zuni doll.
Right.
There was some blood, but it was almost comical because it was funny. The noises he was making, her running around like an idiot, the knives under the door, swiping around and shit. It was just comical.
And she made a lot of like dumb mistakes that we, even today, like, I mean, we're like...
People in horror movies are not smart. That's why they die.
First of all, it's a doll. Kick the motherfucker.
That's right.
Second of all, you had it in a suitcase. Leave it in the suitcase. You stabbed it after it tried to get out. Leave it in the suitcase. Put a book on top of it. Set the motherfucker on fire. Which she did at some point. But it's like, it's a doll. Just, wrap it up in a sheet, smack the shit out of it. And, it shouldn't take that long to get rid of the doll.
Nope.
No. So that's why I get to 3. So.
Hey, fair enough.
All right, James. So why don't you tell them where they can find us?
All right. Well, to find our podcast, you can pretty much find us anywhere, but we are a member of the fourthhand.com network. Lots of good shows there, including our other project, State of Fear, so you can find our other project there as well. We are on Facebook, of course, under What the Suck, and we are also on Instagram under What the Suck.
That's right.
And
you can find us anywhere you can find podcasts.
Podcasts everywhere, yeah. Google
Apple.
Podcasts, Apple, Spotify.
Anywhere.
Yeah. Castbox, any of your favorites.
Go, leave a review, rate us, please. Let us know what you think. We want to hear what you think. We love you guys, and we want to know what you guys think of us. So please do. I also want to give a quick little shout out to another podcast I just started listening to called Drink Drunk Dead.
Yes.
Very cool podcast. It's a young lady and her boyfriend who drink and talk about paranormal, which is awesome.
Nice.
They also discuss personal encounter stories. So if you have one, send one in to her at drinkdrunkdeadpodcast@gmail, I think, or drinkdrunkdead@gmail, one of the two. You'll find it. But go check her out anywhere you can find it. And it's cool because they each episode they discuss what it is they're drinking first.
Yep.
So I think one they do whiskey, then one they do wine, then one they do beer. So it's really cool. Go check it out. You can find anywhere you can find podcasts. So,
absolutely.
So until next time, man, I am Chris, and I will see you at the next Zuni Shitfest.
And this is James, and if it ain't on What the Suck, it ain't shit.
You've been listening to a Fourth Hand Joint.